I'm cleaning up some bolts here. These go to the back of the hubs. I thought I'd do a little sandblast cabinet tip. Okay, something that I came up with. I'm pretty sure I came up with it. It's one of the few things that I kind of like to lay claim to because I've never seen it anywhere else. And I'll get to that here in a minute. But basically, wanted to show the wire wheel. It's kind of tedious, kind of dangerous, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get the heavy stuff off with the wire wheel. This is what they look like afterwards. So that's what they look like to start with. Okay. And then I'll hit it on the wire wheel for a few seconds. And you'll see it's really kind of hard to get it in there. And, you know, you'll end up nicking your fingers and stuff like that. Now here's one of the washers. Now it's even worse with the washers. You can grab it with a pair of pliers and, you know, keep moving them and stuff like that. It gets real tedious. We'll see how my little sandblast thing works. I'm going to do it in glass beads, but should work about the same. Alright, so here's what I have set up for my glass bead cabinet. It was a really cheap one, 80 bucks maybe, 60 bucks, something like that, on one of those Homier traveling tool shows kind of thing, coming around to the armories and that stuff. I did build the stand for it. I've had other videos of my other sandblaster. This one's had glass beads in it for years. I'm not actually going to show shooting, you know, down inside because it is so fogged up right now and dirty and that stuff that you wouldn't be able to see anything. I do keep these in here to keep chips out. Because it's sitting right next to the mill and it throws chips in the sleeves. Oh, and it's a pain in the butt trying to get them out of there because it's a fuzzy material in there that hooks the chips and you pull them out inside out, and it takes quite a while to pick them out of there. The other thing I did here too was up above I have a 500 watt floodlight shining down in there instead of using a light in the cabinet. It works fine, but I typically have to wear a ball cap to cast enough of a shadow that I can see down through it. Right now it's almost pointless because it's so dirty I can't see anything. So the other thing I did too was right off to the side here, I wired up the box, and one switch, the top switch goes up so I can turn the light on, the bottom one goes down to the shop vac. And it pretty much always stays there. Okay, and I also have this one set up with a foot pedal, if you can see it down there. So I have airline run buried up back behind there. Yeah, see it under the shelf there, blue line. It goes to T over there by the air reel. So it stays hooked up to the hose and to the electricity all the time. It's on casters that can move, because at the time I originally built it and was using it, I needed it to roll around. I don't anymore. Alright, so I showed this years ago on a forum. I don't think I've ever actually shot any video of it, I don't remember. But I know there's nothing on YouTube about it right now. It's getting a little worn out here and that stuff. But basically, this is just a cheap Tupperware cup. You know, it's a nice little size. And the idea here is the screen lets the air shoot through. So you take the hole, and surprisingly enough, it's fairly easy to get the stuff back out. So I can drop, I have a bigger one here that I can put, I just don't think I have any screen cut for it. You know, hole cut in the bottom. And the gist of it is you put your items in there, put the nozzle of the sandblaster in there, pull the trigger, and just keep shaking it around. You know, and so it just shakes around against the screen there, and you just keep blasting all the angles, and the sand and the air all blow out of here. Keeps the part. That way you don't have to sit there and try to hold the part while you're blasting, because if you guys have a blast cabinet and you've done that, you blow out the fingers on the gloves really quick in the cabinet. And it's a real pain in the butt to shoot it like this, and then with the big heavy glove try to turn it over and shoot other pieces and stuff like that. And usually, see how easy they come out? Usually it's just a matter of, you know, I tend to shoot down in the corner because, you know, gravity is going to pull the bolt down to the bottom there. And I'll put several bolts in. I'll put a bunch of washers in. And you just stand there and shake it, you know. And I mean, whether you shake it a minute or 5 minutes, either way, it's still easier than trying to do these things individually. So I've got one I did there. This is one of the ones that I didn't wire wheel. Another one I didn't wire wheel. One I did. Okay, so I got 2 of each. I'll do the washers separate. So I just set it down in there. I should have left one of the rusty ones out. This probably was one because you can see it's a bit more black and it's still in the... take the hat off, maybe I'm cutting into the camera there. Still got a black ring there. Okay, so that's probably one of the others, but you can see the rest of it cleaned up really nice. Considering I didn't bother touching the top, you know, and it looked like that before it went in. Plus two, it had all the corrosion here around the body. So good chance that's the other one. I don't know, that one's got a black ring around the bottom one. This is probably one of them too. Anyway, you know, I mean, considering I hit a couple with the wire wheel, that one's quite shiny. I'm sure that one was wire wheeled. You know, anyway, I think you get the point here. I'll go hit the ends there with the wire wheel and do them again or whatever, but I had them in there barely 2 minutes. So I'll do a couple others. I'm not going to bother recording while I'm standing at the sandblast cabinet there, but I'll go catch the ends here with the wire wheel a little bit better and do the washers too, and we'll see how they all come out at the end. Alright, I put half the washers in. Might have been 2 minutes. And the only prep these got prior to going in here was they got degreased. So you can see that really works pretty nice. They may not come out quite perfect. You know, I mean, I still got a couple little black lines in the threads here and stuff like that. But most of the time, you know, you're doing this stuff, you're looking to paint the heads anyway. That's certainly paintable. Yeah, it resurrects the hardware pretty nice without being a ton of grief. Oh, and let me just say too, the glass beads that I'm using, they're just Harbor Freight glass beads, but I'm running them at full shot pressure, which is 80-90 pounds by the time it gets to this cabinet. So what that's doing is that's breaking and splitting the glass beads. Glass beads are really designed to be used down around 35, 40 psi, that kind of thing. So that they bounce and they polish and they rub. What I've done basically is I use it for cutting rust and all kinds of stuff. I blast them at high pressure. They break up. They get sharp edges. You know, they're more abrasive, but it does turn into a finer powder. You know, and I do end up having to change it out. But I've had the same glass beads in here for 5-6 years, easy. And since I didn't cover it before, I went through one day and basically, you know, you just pick a size. I don't know what I traced to get this size, and then I just cut them all out. And this is actual wire mesh, not plastic. So it holds up, but you can see as it starts wearing out. And part of that is from the constantly blasting down in the hole there and the abrasive wearing it out. The other part is, you know, like when I shake and stuff like that, all the weight and the sharp edges just beat up on that. So I'll try to, you know, hold it in there like that next time, you know, when I put the stuff in. So So anywho, I think that's about it for the Sandblast tip. I'm going to whittle it down. I mean, that was like 15 minutes of recording probably, so I'm going to whittle it down to, you know, maybe like 2 minutes. So, just like this rambling here, you'll never hear it. And I might have told the story before, this shop vac I found in a dumpster when we were delivering cars at one of the jobs I had, and it didn't work. So I went and asked the shop that threw it away, and I said, hey, you care if I have that? You know, I could probably buy some brushes, fix it, that kind of stuff. They're like, yeah, sure, what the heck? So I called up Home Depot, because Rigid is their brand, and I said, hey, can I get any brushes for this? And they're like, brushes? Heck, it's got a lifetime warranty. Just bring it back, we'll swap it. So I went back and I had to buy the flexible tube. I had to buy some of the accessories of the flexible tube. Something wasn't in it. Half of it was, half of it wasn't. Anyway, got a brand new 5-gallon shop vac out of the deal for free, just because I was willing to pull it out of the trash and nobody else in the vehicle was.